start recording. So, for our next league, we're playing a black-white tokens list that 5-0'd a league fairly recently and was published. And I'm not keen on everything about this list. I could see myself changing some stuff, but it's doing some really cool stuff, very similar to the mono-white list we played. Gaining access to hidden stockpile is the big payoff for being in black. Yeah, I'm really hoping this goes well, Simeon. I've been loving these token decks. I'm hoping the black pays off. Sadly we can't keep this. We really need white mana in our opening hands. And the double Pride of Conquerors isn't exciting anyway. Yeah, no treasure map in this list, Charlotte, because this list's much more aggressive than the old-fashioned stockpile lists. I'm going to keep this. We need a black mana, but we do have the Scry, and we find the black mana, which is excellent. Marionette Master is a very fun card. Being able to like sack your tokens to stockpile and deal damage with them is really, really cool, for sure. But no Marionette Masters in this one, sadly. But I'm hoping this list plays out okay. It's just like another aggressive tokens deck, which really appeals to me at the moment. I kinda want to just play my Enthusiast this turn. Then next turn we have the option of like upkeep scrying to hit our land drop if we want. Let's make some servos, because this card does not have any other modes. I might just be upkeep sacking to get a scry here. This card's pretty annoying. I kind of want to get the Captain Lannery off the board. There's a slight risk that they then kill our Weaponcraft Enthusiast to take us off Revolt. But I think that's fine. I think I just want to stop them making treasures. And if they don't have the 1 mana removal, we still just get to sack this and do the same turn we were planning on doing, get 2 servos out of the deal. Cool. So I'm going to happily upkeep sack this. We're just looking for our land drop for the turn. This is a pretty good card, but I want to hit my land drop if possible, so I'm going to bottom it. Awesome. So we get to play our stockpile. Make 2 tokens and pass the turn. If one of our tokens gets killed, we can sack it to scry, which is really nice. Oh, this card's quite terrifying. We don't have many answers to the Twilight Prophet, so it's going to be online for most of the game. I'm actually going to block here, I think. I kind of want to take a permanent off their side of the board to keep them off City's Blessing for a little while. So I'm pretty happy with that block. And I'm not going to upkeep Scry, because we want to cast Shram's Expertise this turn for certain. Ooh. Or we can cast this. Okay, let's attack with our servo, because if they block we get 2 servos. So basically this is unblockable. And it's not going to be blocking anything in their turn anyway. Get this procession down. And then next turn I am going to upkeep Scry, because we want to get Revolt online for our stockpiles and processions. And we're pretty happy if we scry into a land, because we can cast this Shram's Expertise. But most other things we can scry into still just let us use our mana for the turn nicely. So, ooh. This card's scary. I think I'm going to discard this Pride of Conquerors because I want to make lots of tokens next turn. If I hit a land off my scry. Yeah, I do want to scry because... Is it worth the risk? It might not be worth the risk. But I think if I hit a land here, I'm so far ahead. This is pretty good too. I'm pretty happy just keeping this one. Then I'm going to have like 8 servos, which is going to be really threaten this Angrath. Cool. So we're going to get 4 more servos from the stockpiles. Now we have a decent force to threaten their Angrath with, which is nice. Obviously we lose our Shram's expertise, but still drawing very live. Like, so many cards are good here. Even a land could let us chef at Dunes if we want. Alright, they're attacking. Yep, I'm fine with this. I don't think I'm going to upkeep Scry because I'm fine with most draws, and we have 4 mana cards that we want to be able to cast. So let's send 1 at them, and the rest at Angrath. So this way, if they block a token that's attacking Angrath, they still take a damage. We still kill Angrath. If they block the one that's attacking them, we trigger Revolt, which we're really happy about. So either way is pretty great for us. Oh wow, they're blocking. This is so good for us. Just lets us make like 8 more tokens. Now we're threatening to just kill them next turn with a land off our Chef at Dunes. So as long as we don't die, they are going to die. We just have to hope they don't have like a couple hasty threats. Like, what they could try and do is attack us with both their creatures and hope to rip a land for a Glorybringer, maybe. Does need to be an untapped white land, you're not wrong. This deck does have concealed courtyards, which don't help for that. And like colourless sources, swamps, if near dead lands. So there are a lot of lands that don't work towards that. You are definitely correct about that, Charlotte. Ooh, PNLR. That's potentially quite scary. Yeah, because they can attack us to 7, and then next turn they have lethal with the Pia pumps. So I think we have to draw naturally for the turn, and we have to hope to hit a white source. That still kills a critter. That could still be good enough, right? That could still be good enough. We take a life to kill a critter, but hopefully that's still good enough. So how many are we attacking with? So there's 10, 11, 12. We can kill Pia, yeah. We could kill Pia, we could also kill the Thopter. I'm not sure which is better to kill. I guess we do something like this. We could attack with 1 less, maybe. We're going to trigger Revolt and get loads of servos, though. Yeah, you're right. You're right, Zaturjam. We're making a... I forgot, because we're triggering Revolt off of sacking a Deadlands. You're completely correct that we could just attack with everything there. I don't think it makes any difference, but it's definitely correct. Just attack with everything, for sure. Yeah, I think I prefer killing the Thopter, since, because we're going to 6. Is there any way they could deal 1 to us? I don't think there's any way they could deal 1 to us, but I am gonna kill this Thopter to stop them having lethal in the air with their PNLR. We just have to hope they don't have an Angrath or the 5th land for a Glorybringer, because those are the things that kill us here, if they have either of those things. Second Pia? Oh, second Pia kills us? So if they have land second Pier, then they have 6 damage. So we want to put if we put 2 counters on a Prophet, they have 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. Yeah, we want to put 2 counters on a Prophet then to play around. Killing the Thopter is definitely correct. I mean, I think putting counters on the Prophet achieves the same thing in terms of how the math works out. But yeah, we will just kill the Thopter. I think it makes no real difference what we kill as long as we don't kill the PNLR. Like, putting 2 counters on a Prophet's probably good enough too. Oh, Disintegration. That's a really, really good call from both of you. I didn't think about them having Disintegration in their deck because they look really mid-rangey, but that's a very realistic card for them to have. It's just like a better murder, right? Yeah, you're both like super correct that we're worried about Disintegration there. So I'm kind of interested in these Anointed Priests just because they do pressure our life total a bit. Their deck does. What cards look bad? I'm not used to this list yet. This is my first time playing it. I think I'm going to be bringing in these Anointed Priests on the draw though, because they were applying quite a bit of pressure to our life total. I could see the Golden Demises being okay, actually, as well. They had a PNLR, the Thopter token, Dusk Legion Zealot. They had, what's her name? Captain Lannery Storm, so we could consider this. Thopter Arrest. Oh, yeah, I like the Thopter Arrests because we're quite scared of the Ascend 2/4 flare. Cool. So we need to take out 6 cards at the moment. Interesting. So I don't hate cutting a Pride of Conquerors since their deck is fairly aggressive. We're going to be on the defensive a bit. We could like cut some of these 3-mana token makers. Like maybe cut some Weaponcraft enthusiasts. Yeah, they're not the fastest deck in the world, so maybe this is fine as a one-of. I actually don't hate that. I might take out the Angels. I feel like the rest of our token production is good enough, and the Angels are just going to trade with our removal spell pretty cleanly. And then we can do something like this. This seems okay to me. I can see a world in which it's correct to take out some more Pride of Conquerors, but I'm going to try this out. We've got some more removal for the post-board games. This hand is excellent. We can go turn 1 map, turn 2 crack a map, make a token with the stockpile. We've got this Procession to build up, giving us some long game. This hand is just everything we could ask for. The only thing it's really missing is like some removal, but ooh, this card's quite scary against our tokens. We're probably going to go over the top of this though. Pride can also help pressure walkers. Yeah, I don't think I want to go below 3 copies of Pride. Because we do just really need to like pressure any planeswalkers they play. I guess I'd rather just have more white sources. I need an extra black source for the Deadlands. If I decide to use that, I'll get a Scatter black source. And we can play this and get the 1 token. And then next turn we get to start sacking tokens for Scries if we want. Ooh, that's annoying. She can generate some treasure for this makeshift munitions. I'm just going to draw naturally for turn instead of sacking to scry. Okay. So let's Exhibition, attack for one, sack the one we've attacked with, so we have 3 back to threaten to block Lannery with. Get our scry value. We do not want another land. Yeah, for sure. Our enchantments are really safe and powerful in this matchup. I definitely agree with that, Ribson. This is kind of awkward. This card's, like, really annoying. She's generating treasures to shoot down our tokens with and getting in some early damage, but I think we're just going to take it. Next turn we can get down a Procession, and then we can start sacking tokens to make way more tokens. Yeah, I think we're just going to take this damage. There's probably a point at which we want to start blocking just to, like, protect ourselves from dying to munitions later. And also so that we don't randomly die to a Golden Demise as well. Like, as of next turn, we probably need to start blocking more aggressively. Ooh, Liliana. Liliana is scary. Let's just draw for the turn here. This is a really nice one. So let's attack Liliana with our tokens. If they block, we get more tokens, which we're happy with. If they don't, we get in some damage on Liliana. Either way is good. Cool, and the fact they blocked means we definitely just make Procession here, because then we get 2 tokens out of the deal, instead of just 1 from the stockpile. Cool, this is going pretty well. I might have to start blocking now, just because I'm a bit scared of randomly dying to makeshift munitions next turn. It means we're less able to pressure Liliana, but I think that's fine. I think we just want to, like, keep our life total high. So I think blocking like this is fine. And then next turn we just get to make like 4 tokens with our Procession, and the turn after we go way over the top. Yeah, I just want to keep my life total high. They've got this munitions just forces us to block pretty aggressively, I feel like. We'll still be able to pressure Liliana enough, so I'm not too worried about her. Let's just draw for turn here. Cool. So I definitely want to get down the second Procession this turn. If I attack with these, they just block with the 2/2s, so I don't actually achieve anything, so I might as well just get my scry, keep the extra token instead. So let's cast Procession. The main thing we really want to find off Procession at the moment is an Anointer Priest, so we can start stabilizing our life total. That would be really, really powerful. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Bam. I think the Golden Demise has looked amazing this game. Like last game, it seemed like it would be fine, but this game has seemed like it would be amazing. So I'm much more motivated to bring it in for the next one. Like they just their whole board is X2s at the moment. Cool. I get to make another treasure. Again, I definitely want to put at least 1 servo here. If I put another one, I force them to sack a treasure to protect this. I think I just put the 1 though. And then... it's interesting. Like, if I start, like, putting loads of servos here, they have to start sacking treasures in order to save Lannery. And getting the treasures off the board to make their makeshift munitions weaker definitely has value. But yeah, I think I'm gonna block with a few things here. just to force them to like eat through some treasures. It also makes us a bit less weak to a sweeper, which is nice. Oh, wow, they're just letting Lannery die. Maybe they have another Lannery in hand. Okay, this Twilight Prophet's fairly scary. It's another flying body. It's going to start doming us with its upkeep trigger as well. So I think I really want to find an Anointed Priest as soon as possible, but I also want to start to finish this Twilight Prophet this turn. Yeah, I agree, Charlotte, we need to finish this Twilight Prophet this turn. Ooh, that's really good. I think I'm holding off on the Anointed Priest for a turn, just so I can get the Twilight Prophet off board. Yeah, it also gives us Revolt as well, which is really good. Agreed. I think we're just doing this turn. The next time we get to go Priest plus Exhibition, worst case scenario. Best case scenario, we hit a land, and then we can go Priest, sack Priest, make 4 Priests. And either is really good, but I just want to get this off the board for the time being. So, finish your Twilight Prophet. You can have lots of tokens. This start finish is like so good in this deck. It's like one of the two motivators for wanting to be black are the stockpile and the start finish. And they've both looked amazing so far. You also get actual sideboard cards, which is nice too. Part of the problem of the mono white list is you have very little game against decks like Godpharaoh's Gift and Approach that kind of want to goldfish you. So I could overrun them with the Chef at Dunes, but I feel like if I do this stuff, I just like can't realistically die, which is fairly appealing. So I'm just going to play it safe and make sure we gain lots of life this turn, instead of trying to overrun them. Like, if I overrun them, they start pinging things down with their makeshift munitions, and we'd probably still be in a great situation, but just don't really want to take any risks. I'm just going to jam everything at Liliana, make sure we get their resources off the board before they can, like, I don't know, do anything. Like, next turn they could cast a Sweeper and then reanimate the Twilight Prophet if we leave them with Liliana. I just don't feel any great need to pressure their life total at the moment, because what we're doing is just going to go so over the top of them, as long as we make sure we don't die. Anointed Priest. Servo Exhibition. So they could kill the Anointed Priest here to stop us gaining lots of life with the makeshift munitions. Or they could... Ooh, that's pretty good. We still get to sack the Priest. So we're going to get the Priest back next turn. This is reasonably powerful. Whatever. I'll keep it. So, on the off chance that they're not just like super dead here, we can bring back some priests. We've got a Profane Procession we're drawing next turn. And because of the Renegade map, we're gonna have enough. We're gonna have the 7th mana needed to cast the Profane Procession. So that was sweet. The deck definitely looked quite good in that match. I'm not convinced you need these Weaponcraft Enthusiasts, but or even these Angel of Inventions. Maybe you just get to go creatureless and make your opponents Scarab Gods really awkward. Alright, this hand is quite awkward, but I feel like it's a keep. We're on the draw, so we have a few draw steps to hit a black source. Like, most of our lands make black mana. If we hit the black source, this hand does some powerful stuff. Okay, Legion's Landing's a good one. I'm just going to turn the lights on a sec. It's starting to get a bit darker outside. Whew. Servo Exhibition. It's not a land, so it's not quite the dream, but still pretty decent. Just keep making tokens. So again, really looking for a black land next turn. Wow, opponent just scoops it up. They are done with playing against tokens. Wow, we were not getting there for a few turns. That was an aggressive concession. So I'm going to assume opponents on a black-green Constrictor deck. In which case... what do we want against Constrictor? Profane Procession seems really good against Constrictor. The Fumigate seems good. These Thopter Arrests seem decent. So we can definitely bring in this stuff. Could even bring in a treasure map and some Anointed Priests if we wanted. Yep, they scooped a game they were not necessarily losing, so that was quite nice for us. I always just want to take this card out. So, how much of the other stuff do we want? We could bring in some Anointed Priests. Just to, like, stop them beating us down. We could bring in a Binding. I feel like I'm pretty happy with this as it is. Angel is quite bad against Ballista. I could see swapping the two of the Angels for, like, a Binding and a Treasure Map, maybe. Like, this card's really bad against Ballista. Our deck's not great against Ballista, but against Ballista this is like a worse start finish. Or even a worse weapon craft enthusiast. I kind of like this. Let's try this and see how it feels. I'm still kind of getting a feel for this deck. I don't know what sort of role it plays in games compared to the mono white version. It definitely feels a bit slower. Alright, this hand's awkward because, for obvious reasons, but I'm going to keep it. This isn't a black source, so I'm going to bottom it. I really want to draw a black land, or something to do early. And since that plains is neither of those things, I'm pretty happy to ship it. Cool. Shipped the plains, drew turn 1 landing. Pretty much the dream. Was this a Ballista for one? Oh, it's a... Oh, they're on dinosaurs. That's so exciting. They're on the black-green dinosaur list that's been showing up occasionally. This deck is actually quite scary. The one time I faced it with the mono-white list, I actually lost to it. They have like 4 Thrashing Brontodons, which is pretty good for them. And Tetzamok is surprisingly scary as well. Like, you wouldn't think Tetzamok would be good against this deck, but... Or against the mono-white version, rather. This version probably has a lot more play against something like Tetzamok because of the stockpiles. Alright, really wanted to hit a black land there. Not hitting the black land's kind of brutal. This means we're not doing anything until turn 4, which is sad times. Now, even when we do cast the stockpiles, they're just gonna die to this Bront. Yeah. Well, we still get to cast a Procession. a decent chance they sack the Brontodon at some point soon to kill it, but at least we're getting their Dino off the board and using up some of the cards in our hand. Kinda, Stephen. You could definitely describe it as that. I have cast these cards a fair number of times in my life. Ooh. Carnage Tyrant's gonna give us some beatdown. Right, we can cast the Stockpile next turn now with the Deadlands. I definitely want to just cast Procession this turn though. Just like get the expensive clunky spell out of my hand. Not that I would ever accuse Anointed Procession of being clunky. Then we need to very rapidly develop a board so we don't die to this Carnage Tyrant. This is a second... oh no, it's a Thrashing Brontodon, okay. They are not letting us make tokens. I get the suspicion we are not winning this one. Alright, let's just cast a Stockpile. We still have Fumigate in our deck to draw to, so no reason to concede quite yet. No, I've not been super happy with the mana base in this deck. I could see replacing the Scavenger Grounds with just more coloured sources. Scavenger Grounds was always the worst of the three colourless lands in the mono-white version for me anyway. Obviously they can kill the Stockpile here to take us off the Revolt trigger if they want. But we still just get a Scry towards a Fumigate, which is nice. Huh. So against most threats, this card would be really good. Sadly, they have a Carnage Tyrant, so we probably have to bottom this. I think we're drawing to specifically Fumigate to not die here. Ooh, they let us make the token rather than killing the Stockpile. Like, the Procession is definitely the scarier card, but this way we still get a Scry next turn, which is nice for us. What's this, a Ballista? That's pretty grim. I would describe that as grim. Still get to Scry, still drawing towards Fumigates. That is not Fumigates, we're going to put it on the bottom. Take the 7 and cross our fingers. Nope. That is fine. Right. So, I probably want to change some stuff for the next game. We definitely don't want these Anointed Priests I was considering against the Dino deck. These Thopter Arrests don't seem great to me. Like, oh wait, is this any creature? It still just doesn't hit the Carnage Tyrants, which is really annoying. Like, I think I almost just want more token makers. Just to, like, pressure them with. Instead of the Thopter Arrests. Like, what dinosaurs are we looking to exile from a black-green Dinos deck? I guess that means the Binding also would have to go. We are on the play, so like making our deck more aggressive would make sense. I think I kind of like this. I think them having a bunch of mana ramp and ballistas, and the fact that they have like at least four disenchants in their deck from the 3/4 dinos to kill our enchantments means we don't inherently have the long game. So I'm kind of inclined just to like make sure I can try and kill them with my random tokens. I think I like this. I think I'm going to keep the Fumigate in because it does deal with Carnage Tyrant, but I think most of the rest of the answers can just go out just so we can have our deck be a bit leaner. This deck doesn't have much early aggression, but it's kind of hard to mulligan perfect mana with Stockpile plus Procession. Like, we don't need much for this hand to be good. Just like a creature off the top. Ugh. The rest is really good against this hand. They can take the Stockpile, and then we're not doing anything for a long time. You know, I don't know. So far this deck's felt weird to me compared to the mono-white version. The mono-white version is like very clearly an aggro deck, and you have the processions to go over the top of your opponent, but you're still like always positioning yourself as the aggressor in most matchups. Whereas this deck has like this weird push and pull to it, where like you have a bunch of the aggressive stuff, but then with the stockpiles on top of the processions, you're positioning yourself to like also want to go a lot bigger, and it just feels weird. Like trying to play both roles at the same time to such like a complete extent. Oh my god, if we hit the 4th land there, we'd be in a great position. Since we could go Procession into either Procession or the Expertise, possibly just the Expertise to pressure our opponent. As it is, we are falling behind. Yeah. Exactly, Steven. We need more Snubhorn Sentries in our life. This is kind of heartbreaking. No 4th land. If we hit our 4th land and they don't have any disenchants, we could be in an okay spot, because our late game is really powerful. But and this is like one of those moments where the Renegade maps feel really awkward as well. Like the fact that 4 of our lands are just always going to be tapped lands that cost a mana. Oh my god, I should not have said anything. I should not have said a word. I'm going to do something weird and attack with these tokens, because they're going to Tetsamok next turn, potentially. I'm pretty happy trading a Pride of Conquerors and these tokens for their tokens, just so they have less pressure alongside their Tetsamok. I know this looks really depressing, but we kind of need to buy time. Carnage Tyrant, sure. That's gonna kill us fast. Okay, yes, I just have to start running out processions and hoping they don't have a disenchant in hand. I'm gonna sit on this Renegade map since it can trigger Revolt for a stockpile, and we're not currently missing our land drop. Vraska, okay. I get it, opponent, I get it. Point taken. That was a pretty awkward game. I feel like even with the more aggressive version, we were probably losing that game. Since the curves of the decks are pretty similar, it's not like we'd have had a bunch more free drops we could have cast. but still, it does feel really awkward having like quite so much late game stuff alongside 4 Pride of Conquerors. There's definitely a lot of tension there. This hand is a bit awkward. Lots of 4-drops and like not necessarily the lands to get there. I think I'm actually inclined to mulligan this one, which is a bit sad. I just don't think this hand's gonna get there the most of the time. We just don't have enough Queen's Commission. You are right, Stephen. We clearly need more Queen's Commissions. This hand's much better. Do I want the Servo Exhibition? I don't feel like I do. I've got the start finishes, which do like a similar thing. I kind of just want to make sure I hit my land drops. We can't we? Are you sure? Yeah, because of how they changed the rule, we can't do that, right, Stephen? That really sucks. Okay, so we're going to have Revolt with our stockpile on this turn, which is nice. Opponent breaking on land drops. That's kind of heartbreaking. Right, so stockpile makes a token. The Dream. Everything we dreamed of and more. That is entirely true, Stephen. Those decks were so cool though, I kind of miss them. I'm blocking here to deny them the card draw when they're missing land drops. 100% blocking. Oh, they hit their land drop anyway. So lucky. I kind of want to start this turn. So let's just, they could have Spell Pierce in their deck. Yeah, they're standard Bogles, like blue-white auras. So they have, like, SRAM, a bunch of auras to put on their critters. I kind of want to do this main phase, because I've seen Spell Pierce in some of their lists. But there's a chance they just attack into my tokens this way, so I think I'm going to pass the turn instead. They did hook me there, you're not wrong, Stephen. You are not wrong. So this runs into Spell Pierce potentially, but it also makes it more likely they don't equip an aura if they have a 2-drop they want to play instead. Which means we're more likely to be able to ambush them. SRAM is a fun word to say. Right, let's take down this cat. And then if they play a creature, if they play a SRAM we want to kill, we can go Legion's Landing, finish to sack the token. Yeah, we definitely want to take down this SRAM, since it threatens to draw them lots of cards when they untap, and put a bunch of auras on it. So let's kill this, sacrifice our vampire token, we get a token back at the end step. Sadly, if they have another SRAM next turn, we're not going to be able to kill it before they get to draw some cards off it. So, potentially still in a scary spot here if they have another SRAM in hand. Otherwise, I'm feeling fairly comfortable with our position. Turning vampires into servos somehow. The circle of life, Charlotte. It's just how the world works. Right, so they played a Sacred Cat for their turn, which isn't too scary. It's much less scarier than a SRAM would be. Do I want to upkeep Scry? I probably want to. I feel like I'm pretty happy drawing most things, but this is probably fine. Dig for some processions or something. Yeah, we don't really want this, since it does the same thing as the start finishes. So I'm just going to bottom the Weaponcraft Enthusiast and draw something different. I guess I just pass the turn here. Since I have Revolt anyway, I can cast Start in their turn. It's not really going to catch them by surprise particularly, but so 4 mana. What are they casting here? A SRAM's Expertise. So they now have a pretty big force on their side of the board. And they have a Slippery Scoundrel we can never deal with. Okay, this is really scary for us. It means even if we kill, like, their Sacred Cat, they still have a creature they can just load up with enchantments. So, there's now actually a fair amount of pressure on us to actually kill our opponent in, like, a reasonable time span. I'm not going to upkeep Scry here, because at the moment if we attack and they block, we get the token back. We can also, this way we can cast both our 3 mana token generators, because we're going to flip the landing on our attack. Even vampires cannot escape the Borg. Oh my god. I mean, I have a feeling that Warrior's about to turn into a servo as well. We're putting like a very good clock on our opponent too because of this Pride of Conquerors. So because they didn't block, we're not going to get the bonus token off the stockpile. But that is fine. We still just get to go super wide here. The Weaponcraft Enthusiast is looking great with this Pride of Conquerors as well. Oh my gosh. So hopefully they don't have too many enchantments for the Scoundrel. They've only got 2 cards in hand. So we could actually be in a really good position here, depending on what their hand looks like. The fact that we killed the SRAM so early has just shut them off of digging through their deck. They don't have a Curious Obsession either. Awesome. So they're now hellbent. I think I just want to draw naturally here, since that way I can use my mana doing something other than scrying, because we've got like multiple things we want to be doing with our mana anyway. And do I just attack with everything, or do I leave it one more turn? Like, I'm definitely attacking with some things to turn our stockpile on. I just don't know whether I attack with this Enthusiast or not. Like, if I Pride of Conquerors, they probably just can't win. If they, like, block lots of our stuff. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. Like, if we waited a turn, we'd be more likely to kill them with the Pride of Conquerors, but wrapping away a lot of their board is probably good enough. We just have to be, would have played Stockpile and then attacked. Oh! To disincline them from blocking, Stephen? That's actually interesting. Yeah, exactly. I agree, Stephen. That's really interesting. I don't know if it's correct or not, but If we're playing the stockpile anyway, like... Right, so we can deal 15 here. Are we okay with dealing 15, or do we want to just save the pride for next turn? These are trading off anyway. We're only losing the Weaponcraft Enthusiast. This is chamomile, honey, and vanilla, I think. It's really nice. I'm just going to let these trade off, and I get to make my life linker and just run back the same attacks next turn with the pride up. I think I'm pretty happy with that. Like, they're losing their tokens anyway. Yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this. Then, like, worst case scenario, at least we're gaining life off the vampire on our attack next turn. And best case scenario, they'll just die off the attack. Yeah, this is going pretty well, Stephen. I agree. So we're on 20. So if 7 tokens connect, they die. Yeah, I mean, that is the worst case for sure, Pedro. It won't happen on this turn though. It's so unlikely they draw anything that lets them do it this turn. I guess they could have Pride of Conquerors in their deck maybe, but... So we're going to go down to 6, which is a bit scary. We have a finish to kill a flyer though, and we're going to gain some life off this vampire token, which is going to be pumped up by Pride of Conquerors. So hopefully we're not dead on the backswing after this turn. And there's a decent chance we kill them anyway, depending on how they block. Can we Shepherd Dunes to kill them? Maybe we just Shepherd Dunes to kill them. Because Pride of Conquerors, Shepherd Dunes, these are all 4/4s then. And they can block 2 of them. Which means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 are getting through, which is 24 damage. They gain 1, so they're on 23, but they're still going to die. So we're going to cast this before Shepherd Dunesing to play around Spell Pierce. So then if they Spell Pierce, we can do something else instead. I have seen Spell Pierces in the main deck of these decks. I think they just die anyway, Charlotte. So I might as well just do it this way. And this way I play around Spell Pierce, which is a card I've seen played. So they need like some sort of instant speed removal or something, which is fairly unusual in what our opponent's playing. The thing is, the 4/4s and Esper tokens or Scarab God tokens, it's way more fun. But yes, Esper tokens is dearly missed. I kind of want to try out Esper tokens again. I just worry that the format's so streamlined now that Esper tokens might feel a bit clunky. So we're against blue-white auras. So I like these golden demises a lot. What's coming in Dominaria for Esper? I like the Setter of the Wreckage and this Fumigate a lot too. Maybe these Anointed Priests are good enough as well. Just like the life gain to help us win the war. Oh, the black-white checkland, yeah, for sure. Like, the mana base in Esper was always the worst thing about the deck. So we can bring in this stuff. We could even bring in some Thopter Arrests, just as more removal. Just, like, become the control deck in the matchup. if we're becoming the control deck in the matchup, we can probably cut some Pride of Conquerors. These Angels are a bit slow and expensive. Can cut these Weapon Craft Enthusiasts. Maybe we just cut all the Pride of Conquerors. And we just become, like, completely the control deck. With, like, Wraths and Anointer Priests to help us survive long enough to go over the top of them. I think I like that plan. We'll see how it plays out. I'm a bit worried about them having, like, lots of counter magic, which could make the plan worse, but I think this is a good plan. This hand's really nice. Oh, you like the Binding and Duress? Yeah. We can bring those in for game 3. Stephen, I agree that those look pretty good. This is interesting. Kinda just want to Renegade map. I guess if we go landing into if we draw... Yeah. I want to go turn 1 landing here. Because then if I draw a 3rd land, I can play the Exhibition to, like, threaten to flip the landing to help us hit our mana sources. That sounds reasonable. So I'm really scared here of them playing a turn 2 SRAM, because that could set up for a really explosive turn 3. As long as they don't have the SRAM, this hand looks really good though. You've been wanting to try Slaughter the Strong. That's not the worst idea in the world. Okay. They're holding up Negate. So I really want to be able to sack this Renegade map next turn to go find a land. But casting a Servo Exhibition kind of gets us a land because it helps us flip our landing. And I'd much rather they negate a Servo Exhibition than our Renegade map. So I'm just gonna do this with our turn. If we don't get to, like, if we miss our land drop next turn, it's kind of sad, but it's not the end of the world by any means. Like, hopefully we get to flip our landing and play a 2-drop on a map. Worst case scenario. Fragmentize on the landing. That's kind of brutal. Attack my dorks. I should probably just be responsible and cast this Renegade map. Rather than casting another Exhibition. Like, the Exhibition could help run them over, but if they just play a SRAM's Expertise this turn, we feel really embarrassed. Especially if we miss our land drop for our turn. This is interesting. I could Fop to Arrest the Harvester. I kind of like that idea. A bit of me almost just likes the idea of making more tokens instead though, keep going wide. And then, like, next turn Fop to Arrest the Harvester once we have more creatures in play. They're probably going to hold this back to block, right? I don't really care if they attack us and gain free life. That just doesn't matter in any way. Yeah, I'm just going to Servo Exhibition. This is fine. These Wrath effects are looking really awkward in our hand. This is part of the risk of registering Servo Exhibition in our deck, for sure. In the same deck as, like, Sideboard Fumigates. Again, this is like another, like, identity crisis thing that's, that the other deck doesn't have. So even if we fop to arrest the Harvester, we still don't have good attacks. We could fop to arrest the Harvester with the intent of fumigating a few turns down the line. If we hit our land drops, it's not the... Like, that also disinclines them from attacking with the Scoundrel, which is nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 permanents. Yeah, I'm just gonna arrest this Harvester. With the intent of, like, we can potentially fumigate a few turns down the line if we want to. Right, so... Oh, another Harvester? Okay, I think I'm bringing in Fragmentize for game 3. It can kill Harvesters, and like, worst case scenario, killing an Aura isn't exciting, but it's still fine. Oh, actually we don't have the Fragmentize in this list, do we? That's in the mono white list. Still, it would have been something to consider if we did have it. This game is strange. Hopefully we hit our land drop next turn and we just get to cast a Procession. This attack's scary. Can we still block it? They don't have City's Blessing yet, so I'm just going to chump block this nonsense to stop them drawing a card. Hopefully we just hit running lands. Tilt. Right. Let's just cast this Anointed Priest. So, if we hit land drops, we're still in a good position, but now this is unblockable. We really need to deal with this soon. When I fopped or arrested the Harvester, that was like kind of hoping we'd hit our land drops at some point in the turns along the way. It has not been working out at all. Like, we are getting very punished for it by this Scoundrel. Interesting. I think I actually just have to hold up Settle the Wreckage, sadly. Just to like stop them drawing so many cards with this Scoundrel. If they have a negate in hand, then at least we get the negate out of the way for the Fumigate. Oh my god. So obsessive. Right, we're really hoping they don't have a negate here. You would have arrested the Scoundrel when you noticed how unslippery it was. Yeah, in retrospect, it would have been a lot better for us. I don't know if it was like the correct play or not, but it would have worked out a lot better. It's possible that the games are just going to like go reasonably long, and so we should have respected the Scoundrel for that reason. I just felt like because of the Fumigate we were well equipped to deal with it later on. And we had so many mana sources in our deck. Between, like, we have 26 mana if you include the maps, and we also have the hidden stockpiles that would have scryed us towards them. Okay, this is kind of the dream. They just had nothing. I am into my opponent having nothing. Now we get to attack them for 5. Cool. This is pretty great. I think I SRAM's Expertise to represent lethal next turn. I can like dump this Thopter Arrest into play on the Harvester. I'm assuming they don't have Fumigate in their board. Which they could have, but even if they have Fumigate, it's like whatever. We've got so much gas left for afterwards. Between like the Procession giving us multiple Anointer Priests from the yard. Cool. That Settle the Wreckage resolving was really what won us that game. And Fumigate would not have got us there, because we were struggling on mana. Thank you to everyone watching. This is probably going to be our last league of the day, but with 2 and 1 in it, so pretty decent start. I'm still not quite sure how I feel about this deck. It's definitely much more powerful than the mono white list because of Hidden Stockpile. And I have enjoyed the start finishes as well. You know, it does have a weird identity crisis thing. I do wonder if a more traditional tokens list just does what this list does better. Yeah, the lack of negates from all our opponents have been something I am very grateful for. Ugh. This hand again. Again, I'm really inclined to mulligan this. I'm going to turn on the light, and then I'm probably going to mulligan this. Turn on the other light, since apparently one light is not enough. What if it's Martyr of Dusk? So, the reason I'm not excited about the idea of Martyr of Dusk is, part of the reason you play these token decks is, I think I'm shipping this, I've already got, like, 3 lands, I kind of just want early spells, something to do on turn 2. So one of the big reasons to play these token strategies is you invalidate a lot of your opponent's removal. There are a lot of decks running around at the moment that run like, you know, 10 removal spells on the main. Like Grixis has over 10 removal spells. And by just running lots of 1/1s, you invalidate a lot of that. Because Fatal Pushing or 1/1's just not achieving very much. It's like trading half a card for their card, which is really good for you. And I worry that adding something like Martyr of Dusk... Oh, is Martyr of the Dusk a 2/1? Am I just like talking complete nonsense? Yeah, Martyr of Dusk is a 2/1. I guess that's like better. I was thinking you were talking about Twilight Prophet, sorry. Martyr of Dusk seems a bit better. I'm still not sure I love it. I almost wonder if I prefer something like a Danto Vanguard over Martyr of Dusk, since it has like a similar resilience to removal, whilst being really aggressive and scary. This deck seems like a rough matchup. Godfarrow's Gift. Anyway, we're gonna, I guess, just cast the start to finish in their turn. Twilight of Dusk is a weak Midnight Oil. It's the weakest Midnight Oil. Other than the fact you get a 2/4 flyer, which is amazing. And the fact you don't die to your Midnight Oil. I do want to play Midnight Oil in something at some point. That card is dear to my heart. Right, this matchup seems reasonably rough. If they can, refurbish this Godfarrow's Gift into play, we're in a fair amount of trouble. Since we're not really dealing with the recursion very well. Like, honestly, if they they put a Godfarer's Gift in play, we would probably only have a couple turns to draw a Pride of Conquerors. Otherwise we're going to lose this. No one ever dies to their own Midnight Isle. I think I've died to one before, but it was in Limited, which is like... Yeah, there is a Godfarer's Gift. So they're going to get an Angel back, and this is going to gain them so much life that we're really going to struggle to win this now. And they have tokens they can block with as well. So like we can finish this Angel. Then they get to get back a Sacred Cat instead. But we're kind of forced into doing this, and we're gonna keep playing. We're not like out of this yet, even if this is a bit rough for us. Like they have the Ipnu Rivulet, so they're still able to dig towards a bunch more critters, which is part of the scary thing. Maybe we have to leave creatures back so we can block the Sacred Cat. We have to like leave 2 1/1s back. Maybe we have to leave everything back. Actually, I think attacking is really bad here. We don't want their Sacred Cat to die. And we also just want as many bodies in play as possible for any Pride of Conquerors we draw. So we just have to leave everything back here. Is it dear to my heart because you keep suggesting it for every deck? That is probably a significant amount of the reason. I've had to hear you suggesting it for decks for like about a year and a half now. Yeah, so we're just going to leave the team back. We're really hoping they just can't find any more creatures to reanimate, which is really unlikely. But we still have a chance here. If we rip a Pride of Conquerors in the next couple draw steps, we actually have a decent shot. Okay, opponent dumps another Angel of Invention. That is very bad for us. Now we really need to hit a start finish to kill that Angel, because otherwise it's just gonna, like, Baneslayer Angel is not a very beatable Magic card. Doomed Dissenter. Is that the one that makes a 2/2 when it dies? That doesn't seem like the worst card in the world. I still feel like I prefer a Danto Vanguard. That one's definitely closer though. I think a 1/1 that makes a 2/2 is probably better than a 2/1 that makes a 1/1. Considering the 1/1 side is so likely to die at some point. The opponent speeds up. They are taking their time murdering us. So I guess we just Shram's Expertise. We could shrink the Angel so they gain less life. What are we doing? I'm not winning this game in a million years, I don't think. I'm just so far behind. Right, so post-board, we get a few more tools to deal with them, but I think this matchup's generally going to be rough for us. We get these Duresses, and we get these Fopt Arrests and this Ixalan's Binding that all interact with our opponent. So those all feel relevant. And then we probably want to take out some of our slower cards, since I feel like we have to kill our opponent in these games. So considerations would be like maybe some number of hidden stockpiles, and Anointed Processions. Like, I feel like games where they get to stick Angels, we're just not winning. It's so hard to grind through that. We just need to get to like an aggressive start to pressure our opponent before then. So like, even though you'd think this could go over the top of them, I just don't think that's how it goes. Profane Procession does exile Angels. I think their card's actually decent here. I agree, Stephen. Maybe just like trim a couple of these. I don't want to like trim too much of this stuff. I could do though. I could just trim all the stockpiles. This just doesn't feel like a stockpile matchup. I just need to be trying to get my opponent dead. Just making a bunch of bodies and casting Pride of Conquerors. Okay, this hand has a lot of potential. This just makes bodies for our Pride of Conquerors, so I'm going to keep it. Like, you could maybe argue for bottoming that so we can find a servo exhibition for next turn, but that feels fairly greedy. I think I just want to make bodies. Tricky how we don't have Sacred Cats to cut every match. You are not wrong. Oh my god. What is this? I'm kind of embarrassed that this card's actually decent against us because we're like so resoundingly the beatdown in this matchup. Opponent has dumped an Angel of Invention. So they are part way there. We want to start to finish because that way we can have the finish in the yard on the very slim off chance we want to flash it back. Okay, please don't discard a Godfarer's Gift. One time, please. No Godfarer's Gift. That's kind of a relief. Right. Swing with the team to flip our landing. This flipping our landing here doesn't actually achieve very much, but it does get in a couple damage, which is nice. So we're still going to do it. And we got enough to do with our mana that I think I prefer just casting the Weaponcraft Enthusiast instead of activating a Danto, otherwise we'll be sitting here forever before we get to cast this thing. And just get some more bodies on board. Oh, sorry, I haven't updated the deck list, have I? Just give me a moment. Not used to using the Stream Decker thing yet. So I didn't used to use it. So Stream Decker should now be updated with the new deck list. Now they have the Godfarer's Gift. That is very scary. Yes, I attack with everything? Question mark. This is so rough. I think we just have to hope they don't have Refurbish. I think we can't actually beat Refurbish here, sadly. Like, I think I'm actually just 100% dead to Refurbish here, because what happens is they refurbish the Godfarer's Gift, get back an Angel of Invention, and then even if we FOP to arrest the Godfarer's Gift, they get to get this Angel of Sanctions back to take the Godfarer's Gift back. So, fairly confident I can't actually win this game. We'll see what our draw step is, just in case, but You're so sad it isn't a cast out. I am also quite sad about that. Like, we can exile the Angel, I guess, instead. Because they don't get that back from underneath. We could also finish the Angel. I guess we just finish the Angel. Right, we're still going to keep playing. I think we still have like very slim chances here, but they are waning. So we can cast Finish to kill the Angel, sacking this Weaponcraft Enthusiast. Yeah, if we arrest the gift, they have to spend that. They have to have an untapped land. Yeah, I think that's our best chance. If we arrest the gift, they have to have an untapped land to get it back. And if they do, it's pretty bad for us. But at least we can Ixalan's Binding the Angel and get the Thopter Arrest back that way. Maybe we do have a chance this game. It's not like impossible, right? So they get back the Angel now, but then we Binding the Angel. I guess they're going to get a Champion of Wits as well, which blocks really well. It's going to restock their hand. No, I'll wait one more turn, but then I'm probably scooping here. Yeah. So I don't think we can actually win this game. We can Binding the Angel and like take away the Godfarer's Gift, but we just have no pressure against their 4/4, and I don't think we're realistically ever winning this game from this position. We're just gonna be best case scenario we wait around for like 3 draw steps and still just lose. So that's definitely one of the rougher matchups for this deck. I hadn't actually played against Godfarer's Gift yet with this deck. It's been fairly unpopular online recently, but it feels really bad for us. The other deck I expect to be really bad for this is Approach of the Second Sun. Just we don't interact in the right way for them, and the way we pressure them just runs so headlong into Fumigates. Right. Okay, final match. Hopefully we can finish this out with a nice 3-2. So this list has been pretty good so far. I'm not convinced it offers enough over the mono white version. We've definitely had games as well where the mana has been worse than this deck. It's not even just the mana being worse, we just get to play less colourless lands. The mono white version gets to play 2 Arch of Orazca, 3 Field of Ruin, and a Scavenger Grounds, whereas this only gets the 2 Scavenger Grounds as its lands. So like, the utility lands in this deck are meaningfully worse. You get Ifnir Deadlands, but I think Ifnir Deadlands is quite a bit weaker than Arch of Orazca and Field of Ruin at the moment. There are lots of decks where just like Ifnir Deadlands is kind of slow and clunky against. Right, so hopefully we hit something to do with our next turn. Since at the moment our hand is very top heavy, which we knew when we kept it. Like the ideal would be like a stockpile, but even a servo exhibition would be really nice. Okay, that's fairly threatening. Again, this is one of the situations where this list is a bit more awkward. We don't have Field of Ruin, so once this search flips, it's just like, very likely to take over the game. Whereas I've had Search for Azcanta do very little against the mono white version. Hopefully we can pressure our opponent enough that this isn't too big a problem. Another thing that's potentially a bit scary here is, well, we're playing these weapon craft enthusiasts. They run pretty badly into Essence Scatter in a way that none of the cards really do in mono white. Luckily we didn't get hit by that, which is nice. Get lots of bodies. Very likely to flip this Legion's Landing now if our opponent doesn't have a Golden Demise in their main deck. Cool. Yeah, exactly, Stephen. I feel that way too. I agree with you completely there. The fact that they bin the Field of Ruin, that means they probably have a backup Field of Ruin. I probably still just want to attack out here though. It's kind of sad not to get an activation from this is the thing, on the turn that we flip this. Or like even a use out of the mana. I think I'm still going to attack like this though. Yeah, I agree. The mono white version definitely like keeps sticking around long after it should, because of the extra utility it gets from its lands. I think that's a really powerful aspect of the deck. It lets it play into the long game really well. This runs into a counterspell pretty badly. Maybe we're just meant to SRAM's Expertise, play the Enthusiast off the Expertise instead. Like, I'm happy with this getting counterspelled, whereas this getting counterspelled is really, really sad. And if this resolves, we're in such a good position. Yeah. So we're much happier getting that countered than the Procession. Alright, so Search for Azcanta is still ticking up. They did have the Field of Ruin, which we expected because they dumped one in the yard off of Azcanta. It's not terribly surprising. Ooh, this is exciting. I think I just want to get my Procession down though. And then we probably want to sack this map to hit our land drop, because then if we draw a 7th land, we can cast the Expertise and the Enthusiast. So I'm just going to sack this map and find a swamp, put it into play. Just to set up for potentially hitting a 7th mana source next turn. Opponent is tanking for some reason. They don't really have any decisions here since they're tapped out. Oh wow, opponent just conceded. They're just like 100% done with having to play against token nonsense. Which is like entirely fair. Maybe they opened Invocation Force. Oh my god. Right. So we got a 3-2 of this deck. It felt reasonable. It's nice playing with Hidden Stockpile again for the first time in a while. I don't know, I'm less excited about this deck than I am against the mono white version for a whole bunch of reasons, which I've been talking about throughout. The one card I was really excited to have access to though was Start Finish. I don't know if there's a way to integrate Start Finish into the mono white version without like adding so many black clans. Like maybe you could just add the Concealed Courtyards and just accept that most of the time you can't cast Finish, but when you can it's really nice, and when you can't at least you're still making 1/1s, which is what the deck wants to do. I don't know, there's something to think about. But the deck felt pretty reasonable. Before I head off for the night, of course got to open this treasure chest. Okay, 20 play points. I don't have to feel too bad about that loss of value. Anyway, thank you everyone for watching. It's been fun. I'm going to be back on tomorrow, playing probably more standard. We'll see how I feel. I still kind of want to find a deck for the PTQ on Saturday. So I might just play some more tokens tomorrow and maybe some more Grixis and figure out which one I want to play in the PTQ. But thank you everyone for watching. If you've been enjoying the stream, please consider giving it a follow. And hopefully I see you around tomorrow. Good night.